In January 2024, I used to be a bodybuilder that would struggle to run 3K without getting out of breath. After 4 months of training, I competed in Hyrox London May 2024 and got a respectable time of 1 hour 28 minutes. This is my road to sub 1 hour 10 by the end of the year. I can now run long distance without stopping, and I'm competing in Hyrox Stuttgart on the 28th of September. Here's how I've been training and my best tips if you're competing in a future Hyrox.
Now, if you want to train for a Hyrox, bear in mind the most important thing that you're going to want to do is get good at running. You know, you're 3-4 months out from your race, you've got to work on your running base. And if I was to give someone the best tip for starting off from running, is to build your aerobic base first. So what that means is you want to be running at a low intensity where you can maintain a conversation with someone. What that's called is called zone 2 cardio, and it builds an energy system in your body called the aerobic system, which is built for endurance. Do that for a few months, then start working on the Hyrox specifics, throw in a few hit workouts here and there, and that is going to be how you train for a Hyrox. But anyway, guys, we've got a special workout today. We've got Miko's triangle, so you can see all the equipment here. We've got the assault bike, we've got the rowers out, and we've got the ski erg, sorry. What this workout is it's an EMOM, every minute on the minute. For those of you that have never done any CrossFit before, every minute on the minute means you have a minute to complete a certain exercise. So let's start with the assault bike. I'm gonna do 12 calories on the assault bike. If I finish that in 40 seconds, let's say, it means I have 20 seconds rest. I then go onto the ski erg, same thing applies, 12 calories. Finish that in 40 seconds, 20-second rest. Then rower, and then it's a 1 minute rest. So you're working in these 4-minute blocks for 10 rounds for a 40-minute workout. I've done this before. Usually I'll do this on 15 calories, and it is the most disgusting workout I've ever done in my life. I'm doing it on 12 calories today because I've got like 10 days until my Hyrox, so I need to like bring the intensity down a little bit. But let's get cracking, because you are going to see me sweat some buckets during this workout. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. We got 12 calories. Let's go. So I'm trying to maintain about 500-ish watts on the assault bike here, because the thing is, when you're doing this workout, it's an endurance workout, you've got 40 minutes. If you gas yourself out in the first round, you're just not going to last the whole 10 rounds. So I've got 12 calories, I'm going to aim to do that in about 40 seconds roughly, and I've worked out that about 500 watts does that. Okay, and that is the first exercise down. So you see 39:20 left on the timer, I've got 20-second rest, and we're on to the ski erg. I hate the ski erg. So again, this is about pacing. I'm going to be aiming for about 1,100 calories per hour on this. Again, that gives me a projected finish of about 40 seconds. There we go. 39 seconds in the bag. And then last one is going to be rower. Set it on level 8. 10 seconds to go. So I always find this one the easiest, and I use it almost as like a rest period. Alrighty, 36 seconds on that one. So that's the first round in the bag. Like you see, my heart rate's like 155. I'm not too sweaty, I don't feel too bad. I've got 9 more rounds of this. Usually if you've got the right amount of calories, you'll find around 6 or 7 is when it starts to get really, really hard. Now, to be fair, because I'm doing this on 12 calories rather than the usual 15 I do, I don't think I'm going to be sweating buckets or dying towards the end, but we'll see. Obviously I've got like a week and a bit till my Hyrox. So we got 40 seconds left, obviously the 1 minute timer, so we can chill for a minute. Honestly, this workout would be fucked up if it didn't have this 1 minute rest. Right, round number 4 has just started. Still feeling pretty good. Obviously starting to get a bit of a sweat on now, but all good. Still maintaining about 500 watts on this bike. All right, 12 onto ski. Still 15 seconds as well. So I'm still pacing this really well. 12 calories, here we go. Little thing, if you do this workout, it's all about pacing yourself. You do not want to be gassing in the first 3 rounds. I'm just about to finish round 4 and I still feel pretty good. 2, 1, let's go. It's very similar to Hyrox in a way, because when you're doing a Hyrox, you're going to be doing it for like maybe at least an hour 20, I'd say, depending on how good you are, obviously. You're not going to be able to maintain max effort for an hour 20. So training for that is very, very similar. With this Miko's triangle, should only really be gassing towards the end. 12, come on. There we go. All right, round 4 in the bag. Look at me, I'm absolutely drenched. But that heart rate is still pretty solid. So for me, I'm 29 years old. 170 heart rate and below is something I'm able to maintain for an hour plus. As soon as it starts spiking to about 175-ish, you're really in that anaerobic zone. You're not gonna be able to maintain that for more than about 5-10 minutes. This is really important. That's why I use a heart rate tracker when I'm working out. Iron Man. 12 more seconds, and then we're starting round 5. Air bike gives me a nice breeze to cool down. Now normally when I do this on 15 cals, I am fucked by now, but I'm good. Little tip with the ski erg, it's all about efficiency. You want to be really relaxed when you're doing it. The more you're kind of tensing up, you're just going to waste unnecessary energy. Remember, this is endurance. So I'm still timing these in about 37 seconds. So my pace isn't dropping, I still feel good. Okay, last round of rowing, and then we're done with this workout. Like I said, it's not too bad doing it with 12 calories. Still got 7 seconds. Heart rate's 168, getting there. Let's go, finish off. All right, that is Miko's triangle completed. Okay, 10 rounds, not too bad actually. Like I said, because I'm only a week and a bit out from my Hyrox, I'm trying to keep the intensity like maybe around an 8 out of 10 level, rather than normally when you're doing this, it's like a benchmark test. So you should be going like balls to the wall, 10 out of 10. You know, by the last round, you should feel like almost like you're gonna throw up. I'm just a bit out of breath right now, as you can kind of see. I'm not really like dying or anything. So overall, really, really good workout. Like when you guys try this, my best piece of advice would be just make sure you pace yourself. Like you could see me throughout that workout. Most of the time I could talk, it was fine. When you get to the stage where you're finishing the exercises in like 55 seconds and you can't do any more, that's when you're in trouble. But yeah, good workout.
Morning guys, it is 7:30 a.m. I got my Weetabix with protein shake in it, so trying to get a little bit of protein in with my normal Weetabix in the morning. Guys, try this if you haven't tried it before. It is absolutely delicious. Training wise, we've got a pull session today, so nice and easy. Just a little bit of back work, working on those lats, working on the triceps, because I like to put my pull work with triceps at the moment. If you guys don't know about that, that's one of my new workout splits that is working really, really well for arm growth. Because you know the most important bit about Hyrox is arms. You need big biceps and triceps. No, I'm joking. And I got a tempo run this afternoon, so 40 minutes, we're just gonna run at about 165 heart rate, and I'll get some drone footage of that. Today we're doing a pull session. It's not really Hyrox, it's more for like a bodybuilding style workout. So I've never really given up on these. I just like the idea of having size at the same time as doing a Hyrox, you know. So for me, it's important that we do these pull workouts. But today we're gonna start off with a bit of top half lat pull down. So the reason I do these top halves, what it is you do 8 reps and then you do 8 top half reps. So you only go down to about your forehead. And what that does is it puts the muscle in a stretch position, which when you're already fatigued from the first 8 reps is really, really good for muscle building. So we're gonna hit it hard today.
Right, exercise number 2, we're gonna do a drop set. So we've got the cable low rows, really good for working the lats, into the rope tricep extension. Like I said before, guys, pull and triceps at the same time because they are antagonist muscle groups. When you do a pull workout, your triceps are fresh. So if we hit the triceps as a superset, not only does it save time during your workout, but also you get more effective sets, more volume over the course of a week on your arms. So it's really, really good for arm growth. But yeah, let's crack on. I'll do the weight, mate. Oh, that is a burn all over, but you can see the arm pump is pretty massive for stuff like that. All right, next exercise, we've got a incline bench row into an incline skull crusher. So let's hit it. You'll notice on the rows, I don't always do the full range of motion, especially towards the end. I've got quite heavy weights on there. It's more of a Hyrox specific thing. I'm not just training with bad form, because when we're doing the sled pull, and you're going like that and you're pulling in, rarely, if ever, do you actually fully pull in with a full range of motion like that. So what we're trying to do here is train that sort of half range of motion, because that's going to be more relevant to the sled pull anyway. And it means I can use some fucking heavy weights. Okay, meal number 2 of the day, guys. You might be actually surprised by this one because you can see in my hand that I've got a pizza. And you're probably thinking, Dom, you're a PT. You shouldn't be eating pizza, should you? You're training for Hyrox. You can't be eating unhealthy foods. I'll tell you why this is actually a really, really good thing to be having right now. So obviously I have my Weetabix in the morning. I've trained. I've hit a hard weight session. After a hard weight session, the glycogen in your muscles is going to be low. So glycogen is a form of energy that we store in our muscles. So the way you replenish glycogen is by eating carbs. This is quite high in carbs. This is about 1,000 calories in total. It's got 50 grams of protein. It's got 110 grams of carbs, something like that. So it's actually the perfect meal to have post-workout, because now we're gonna get an effect called supercompensation. Supercompensation is when the glycogen is low in your muscles, so they are more receptive to receiving more carbohydrates to replenish the glycogen. So you end up with higher glycogen stores. People always think protein is the most important thing to have after a workout. It's actually carbohydrates. And this ties in quite well to what I'm gonna do in about 2 hours time when I'm going on my tempo run, because I want that glycogen so that I have the energy for my tempo run and it doesn't feel absolutely terrible. The mistake people always make when they're trying to lose fat or they're trying to train is they don't eat enough carbs, they don't eat enough calories in general, and what ends up happening is you just don't feel very good. Your workouts suffer, and that is going to be more detrimental to you than just having that little bit more calories and that little bit more carbs. So meal number 2 is a chicken Florentine pizza. Absolutely delicious. That is the beauty of eating to your macros and eating to your calories. You can kind of have whatever you want. Okay, so that is the 9-kilometer tempo run completed. I did the whole thing at around a 5-minute 30 per kilometer pace. I was faffing around a little bit with some drone footage, which made it a tiny bit slow, but overall a really, really good run. I tend to, on my tempo runs, try and keep my heart rate at about the 165 mark, because that is the anaerobic threshold. And if you guys don't know what the purpose of tempo runs is to keep you at around your anaerobic threshold. And the reason we do that is because once your heart rate or your effort level starts going above that anaerobic threshold, you start accumulating lactic acid in your body so quickly. I mean, above your anaerobic threshold, you're looking at maybe 10-15 minutes max before you completely gas out. Whereas at your anaerobic threshold, where we run tempo runs, you should be able to maintain that pace for about maybe an hour, maybe even 2 hours if you're quite a well-trained athlete. And it's usually the pace roughly you'll run your Hyroxes at. So I tend to train there once, maybe even twice a week when I'm in the intense period of my training. just to get that speed work in, get used to the feeling of running at that pace, and obviously work on my fitness, work on my body's ability to clear lactic acid, etc. As you can see in my hands, I've got a little bit of banana bread, which, as we spoke about earlier in the video, carbohydrates are king when it comes to training hard, especially for Hyrox. You need those carbs, guys, because you need to replenish your glycogen. So I've been cutting for the last probably 2 or 3 months for this Hyrox, on about anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 calories. I'm not super precise with that because I know sometimes I'll get invited out, sometimes there'll be life events that make counting calories pretty much impossible. But I know if I'm within that range, roughly, it will balance out and I will lose about half a pound of fat per week. So for me, I've been cutting now for 2-3 months. Next 6 days, I'll carry on cutting until about 2 to 3 days before the Hyrox. And then what's really important is because we're trying to race for performance, because we're trying to go fast, it's really important that 2 to 3 days beforehand, you do get those extra carbs in, because your glycogen stores for the race will need to be topped up fully. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a really bad time on that Hyrox race. But yeah, 6 days to go. Let's get it. What I eat in a day of. Right, guys, just finished my Hyrox training call with my clients. A lot of my online clients. Got a guy from Vienna who was on the call as well, which is really cool. And we've got 18 of us coming down to Hyrox Manchester at the end of January, which I am super, super excited for. It is going to be such a fun day. And by then, I'm hoping to get around a sub 110 time. But for now, it's been a long day. It's time to wrap up and finish chilling on the sofa with my lovely girlfriend. Hello, darling. We are watching, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, Monsters, about the Menendez brothers on Netflix. They killed their parents, which is kind of crazy. But, Madison's favorite topic is murder, isn't it?
Might be.
Look at this future murderer over here. Guys, this has got to go on YouTube. If I ever end up, disappearing, you know why. Anyway, that's a wrap for the day.